welcome back to another FPL video. I hope everyone is doing well. We're coming to the end of what has been a very quick Game Week 18 and we're looking ahead today at the double Game Week 19 at some potential captaincy options. I'm going to pick out the three main captaincy options I think that most people are going to be picking and that most people will be choosing between for this game. We can discuss why you could potentially go for one over the other, and then we're also going to look at some potential differential captaincy options if you feel like a punt and want to really quickly climb up those leaderboards. If you're new around here, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button, hit the like button if you do end up enjoying the video, and well, let's get straight on into this one. So the first captaincy option we are considering today is Kevin De Bruyne for Man City, playing against Crystal Palace and Aston Villa. Crystal Palace have obviously been really bad defensively this season, so you could go and see Manchester City absolutely rolling through them like Liverpool did in that 7-0. Aston Villa have been a very sturdy team this season, not conceding too many goals, so that could be a little bit of a tougher game for Manchester City. And you know, against these smaller teams, Man City have only been winning 1 or 2-0, whereas Aston Villa probably were likely to play out a little bit more against Manchester City because they're playing so well this season, so it could play into Manchester City's hands. We see Kevin De Bruyne's expected goal per 90 is 0.55 and his expected assist is 0.51. He's expected more than one goal contribution per game, which is unbelievable. You know, in terms of expected goal stats, you rarely ever see it get to 1 or at least above 1. Kevin De Bruyne now playing up front for Manchester City looks unbelievable. Some people may be a little bit worried that, you know, he didn't take that penalty and Sterling did. I think that is solely because it was in the last 9 minutes of the game and Pep just wanted to give Sterling a little bit of confidence. Obviously that didn't end up working, but had it been 0-0, I reckon Kevin De Bruyne would have stepped up and taken that penalty, so I wouldn't be worrying too much about De Bruyne not taking penalties, especially after that miss. It's even more likely that he's going to be the one stepping up and taking the penalty, which is picked up 3 goals and 9 assists so far this season, coming in at 11.6 million. He looks like a very good captaincy option for this coming game week. I think that De Bruyne will be the most popular captaincy option for this game week. Some people even are considering triple captaining. I really don't mind that at all. I think that the fact that both of these fixtures are at home and Kevin De Bruyne tends to have better form at home than he does away from home. He did that especially last season and this season. I remember the Fulham game I captained him and the Burnley game I captained him, coming in with 10 and 14 points in each respective game. So I think Kevin De Bruyne this week, the double game week, looks like a very, very good captaincy option and maybe a consideration for the triple captaincy as well. Moving on to Bruno Fernandes, and I think in every single game week, this guy has to be in the consideration for captaincy. His consistency is unbelievable. Yes, we did see him blank against Burnley, but he still created many opportunities, and you know, if a penalty does pop up, he's going to be the one banging it in. They do play against Liverpool, however, I personally feel that that's going to be quite an open game. Both sides are going to want to win, especially Liverpool. They'll feel at home to Manchester United at Anfield. They will feel they need to pick up a win if they want to kind of put in a strong challenge to retain themselves as champions of the Premier League, and that will leave them quite open, I think, at the back to, you know, a Bruno Fernandes ball over the top to Rashford or just Man United generally. That combined with the Fulham fixture where, you know, Fulham did look quite good defensively against Spurs, however when they play at home, Fulham like to come out a lot more against sides, and I think that will really benefit Manchester United. So I think, as I said, this guy always has to be in consideration for captaincy, especially with those fixtures. I think that Liverpool defensively haven't actually been too great. They've kept a couple of clean sheets of late, but you know, sides definitely could be scoring more goals against them. And I think with the clinicalness that Manchester United have shown, they could easily go and knock 2 or 3 past them. We see that Bruno has an expected goals per 90 of 0.55 and expected assist per 90 of 0.41, just below the 1 when I actually did my previous captaincy video. He was on 1 expected return per game exactly. He's now on 0.96, but I think, you know, he's just had an unfortunate performance against Burnley where he blanked, and that's probably reduced it a little bit, but still 0.96, almost an expected a return every single game. Looks like a great option, especially with those fixtures. I think he could return very nicely. Now moving on to the third kind of main captaincy option for this week. We're most likely going to see most people either captaining Salah, Bruno or Kevin De Bruyne for this week. I've had a lot of talk about Kevin De Bruyne and Salah mainly, with Bruno a little bit on the fringes. I think if you captain Bruno, it could even go down as a differential this week. He's very highly owned, but most people are going to be looking towards Salah and De Bruyne this week, I think anyway. I'm personally genuinely debating about triple captaining Salah. I just think 2 home fixtures for Salah is any other season you would be triple captaining Salah, because his form at Anfield is absolutely insane. He's got pretty much a goal for every game he plays at Anfield. And I mean his expected goals per 90 at 0.62, the highest we've seen in this video so far. Expected assists at 0.2. So his overall kind of expected contribution per game is lower than the likes of Bruno Fernandes and the likes of De Bruyne. But I think if we looked at that through the lens of only at Anfield, then it would be much higher. We'd almost be expecting him to score a goal every single game, that on top of the assists that he could get as well. I think he looks great. He is going to play against Manchester United, who will be more comfortable playing for a draw than Liverpool will, but I think in this game Liverpool will go all out attack, as I said when looking at Bruno Fernandes. So I think Salah has a very good opportunity of getting some kind of attacking return in this game. And I mean Burnley at home as well. We saw how Manchester City tore them apart at home. I think when Burnley are at Turf Moor, they're a lot more comfortable, a lot more defensively sound. When they go away from home, they're more susceptible to being broken down by teams. And I think Liverpool and Salah can definitely tear apart Burnley as they did to Crystal Palace previously. He's also picked up 13 goals this season and 3 assists, going for the Golden Boot, and I still think he's a great option. Obviously, you know, he's blanked a couple of times of late. Blanking against West Brom was very unfortunate, especially for myself, because I was looking to climb some ranks in that weekend, specifically relying on Salah. That was just a bit unfortunate. But the only thing I would say about Salah is when he's been kind of blanking previously, gone on some bad runs, he hasn't looked good, whereas now he looks very good. He's just not kind of putting away the chances that he should be. So I think for this double game, Salah looks like a wonderful captaincy option. And now we take a look at some differential kind of punty captaincies I think that you could go into the game week with, and we're going to firstly look here at Antonio coming at 6.2 mil for West Ham. He seems like he's fit, or you know, you very well expect him to be fit now that West Ham has sold Haller 25 million, I believe, to Ajax. I mean, I think they've cashed in on him there quite nicely, but you'd expect Antonio to come back into the team, especially now that they've sold him, and when he's fit, he's going to be the starting striker. It seems as though he is fit, playing against Burnley at home and West Brom at home. I mean, I think everybody knows in the FPL community that West Ham have the best fixtures for this coming game week, so if you can get your hands on Antonio, let alone captain him, you're going to be at a massive advantage, because not many people do own him because he's been injured, so it's going to be quite a good differential. We see his expected goals coming in at 0.47, on the lower side out of the players we've reviewed so far. However, he has been out quite a lot this season. His expected assist per 90 of obviously 0.07. You wouldn't particularly expect too much higher from an out and out striker. He's scored 3 goals in 9 games with no assist. However, in those 9 games, he actually only played 2 full 90 minutes, with the majority of them him coming off of the bench to only play kind of 10 to 20 minutes per game. So the stats are kind of skewed to make it seem like he's scoring a lot less than he actually is. Antonio looks like a fantastic option for this game week, and potentially, if you want to go for a bit of a punt, you could captain him. Now, normally I would look at another option, kind of a differential punt option. However, I don't think there's too many other players to necessarily consider. You could consider Jack Grealish. However, he is on 4 yellow cards. If he picks up 1 more in the Manchester City game, he will be out for that Newcastle game, meaning, you know, that Newcastle game is mainly the one you would want to be captaining him for. You could also look at Jamie Vardy, but he does play against Chelsea and Southampton, 2 sides that have been very good defensively this season, and he also does have that kind of recurring hip injury, so you never know if he really is going to play. You could get Rashford, who has been quite good this season, scored 7 goals, assisted 5, but if you're going for Rashford, you may as well go for Bruno, as Bruno will be assisting him and has the penalty upside as well. Other than that, you could look at the 2 Spurs boys, Kane and Son. They only have a single gaming fixture, and you know, either of them against Sheffield United especially could go and pick up as many points as a double gaming player can, but you'd be safer going for the likes of De Bruyne, Fernandes and Salah, because they do all have double gaming fixtures. If you have enjoyed this quick look ahead to the double gaming 19, the captaincy options, let me know in the comments down below who you're thinking of captaining. I'm very strongly thinking about triple captaining Salah myself, but if you have enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit that like button, hit the subscribe button if you're new around here, and I will see you in the next one. Catch you in a bit.